Yo, guys, welcome back to another episode, another value bomb of Black Swan system. In this episode, we're going to talk about how fixing your Instagram, setting up a cool ass profile, setting up a high status profile is also going to help with your online dating or if you are meeting girls in person. How that can elevate to reduce the flakes to meet even like higher quality girls that otherwise if you just meet them on dating apps and like grab their Instagram, they're more likely to flake. So a lot of people complain that way. So this is how to reduce those flakes and turn them into dates. Like, meet girls way out of your league or very attractive girls.
All right, so tell me, where's the correlation between my social media and online dating? So explain it to me.
Okay, so when you meet a girl on dating app, she fucking knows what about you? 5 pictures, 6 pictures,
Yeah.
and some prompts, right? On Hinge, for example, I'm using Hinge these days to test it out, how it performs, because I'm shadow banned on Tinder and like Bumble, so I cannot
Shadow
use them.
ban, what happened?
Yeah, long story short, but I did some nasty shit, man. So they don't want me there. I tried different variations, I tried getting a new phone, new number, but they just know it's me. I fucking ban him, so I barely get any matches. So I've been getting some success on Hinge. I'm just using it as a different method. So just to be clear, no matter how much effort I put in, I'm still not getting the quality of girls that I get from social circle, like the same way from dating apps. But like still, if you're a guy who's like, well, I really don't want, to deal with the girls who are super attractive. I just want like a nice girl, someone who's like average attractive, right? And I just want to rack up the numbers. Or if a girl like or if a guy who's like less experienced in dating or less sexually experienced, right? I think dating apps is a better way to get more experience, maybe not the best way to find a wife or a girlfriend, depending on like you might still meet girls like who are very high quality because like the trend is going towards online dating, right? You just have to fix your profile and then you will start getting matches from there, okay? So why is this helpful if you fix your Instagram? So there's 2 ways you can meet these girls, right? If you have a very killer profile, you can still, I've met girls through WhatsApp, and then like they came to my place directly. That can also happen. Totally okay, right? But like in some cases where you feel like, well, it can help me if I, transfer them to my Instagram. Because that can help you way more, right? Because like on profile itself, she knows you're texting, okay, you seem like a cool guy, right? But like she doesn't know anything about you. She doesn't know if she should trust you or not, right? But if you tell her, hey, interact with me on Instagram, there she can experience like you much more, right? A girl that I was dating recently, she's telling me everything about myself. I'm like, she's like a motherfucker, like investigator. She knows every picture, right? Like I asked a girl, okay, what you notice about my profile, right? Like she's zooming in on like number plates of license plates of the cars that I have in my pictures. Like, is it from Munich? Do someone I know like this picture? So they do like their investigation, right? Yeah. And the more they invest, the more they start liking you. Because like you don't want to invest your energy into someone that you don't like, right? So that's the good part of it, right? If you have like profile well set up, you have like some highlights there, some profiles there, you do some nice things. Girls are going to look at that, right? So that's why it's important. Your Instagram is high status. Go to the very first video on this channel, episode 1, Fixing Your Instagram. We talk about at length on how these things can benefit you, right? So she's going to investigate, see what you are around, like who you like, right? So that's why having a social network or just like having a cool ass Instagram can be very helpful to reduce the flakes. I cannot recall when was the last time I was supposed to meet up with a girl we were talking on Instagram and she flaked on me or like just ghosted me. That doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Like either she was going to say, well, something came up, let's reschedule. But like straight up, cannot meet. That never happens. But like on WhatsApp, that happened a couple times. Like, girl was like very interested in meeting up, but like, on WhatsApp, she's like, okay, she's like coming up with so many objections and she needs more information about you to deal with that. So it's safe for her to reject you. But if you convert her to Instagram and chat there, then you have much leverage there because like she doesn't have that, right? So that's what
Yeah,
I would
so
say.
when I think back to the cool approach days where I was very much into pickup, everyone was saying you should never close a girl on Instagram or some other social media platforms because during that time, like 5, 6 years ago, those platforms were already very, very big, but they weren't used heavily like they're used right now, especially for social circle game. And I always close girls on my WhatsApp because there you can convey more personality. Of course, you chat with them, yada, yada, yada. But nowadays, and especially if you have a killer Instagram, I would highly recommend as well to close girls on your Instagram. But the prerequisite for that is, of course, that your Instagram should be high value, that you hit all the attraction triggers that we were talking about, and that you convey your personality, right? So that you have good looking pictures. And of course, it's not about the pictures that you necessarily have, but it's simultaneously about the pictures that you already have. So every picture that you have can ultimately hurt you as well. So avoid posting those bathroom selfies or some weird ass looking pictures with your guy friends where you're just like drinking beer and the environment doesn't look very good. I'm not saying you shouldn't have pictures with your guy friends, but at least the environment, the setting, the overall picture, the vibe of that picture, it should convey some kind of personality. So that is very important. And nowadays, I do that too when I close girls, for example, either be it cold approach or some social gatherings, events. I always use Instagram first. And when I'm then getting more in touch with the girl, when I'm more intimate with her, where she already knows my personality, and when I'm like more pre-qualified in her view, then I transition to WhatsApp too, because it's way easier to arrange meetings through WhatsApp, have phone calls, and whatever. How do I fix my Instagram? How do I set up my profile? What should I show on my profile? How should I use my profile? And what should I avoid?
Okay. So think of who you are doing it for, right? So since we're talking about to attract girls, let's take it from that angle. Okay. So what are different attraction triggers that girls are going to respond to? So let's take it from there. Okay. So girls want a guy who is successful, who is financially has resources. Like even if you're a broke guy, you can still make it look that you are living like a baller. That's why you should not trust people's Instagram entirely.
Yeah.
But it's still we are playing with people's psyche. So it's like he cannot be so consistently at the nice places, right?
Yeah.
So if other people are faking it, and if you don't, then you are losing the game.
Yes.
Just play the game, okay? So they want guys who are successful. So just go to places where cool people go, right? Go to nice look restaurants, nice bars, 5-star hotels. Just posting pictures there, right? So this is like resources, pre-selection. Girls want to be with a guy who other men respect and other girls also feel attracted to. So then you can post pictures. This is something very optional. Like I would say, like lots of guys, they feel like anxious, posting those pictures. So it's something, you can do. It's going to help you more. But like, I understand like most guys are not very comfortable doing that. It's totally fine, right?
Yeah.
So pre-selection or like, you can post stories with the girls and then put them on a close friends list, the
Yeah.
girls you are on targeting. So that can work really well. Third one is you are a leader of other men, right? Let's say you are working as a manager, you're working as a CEO, that kind of thing. You can post pictures of you on a stage, things like that, giving a speech where other men are listening to you, you're like leader of the men. Another one is that you are athletic. You have good genetics. If you are like ripped, if you are attractive, I would not like post mirror selfies in the gym. That makes you look low value. But let's say if you are at a beach, if you are outside of a pool, like jumping, so kind of like it makes sense for you to be topless, half naked over there. So that is giving you an excuse to look like that, right? So these are different attraction triggers. What else comes to your mind?
Yeah. So what I noticed, especially with that part, not posting any mirror selfies in the gym. So every once in a while, and I'm going to the gym like 3-4 times a week, depending on how much busy I am. And every once in a while, I post that mirror selfie in the gym after training when I'm like pumped and all that lightning is good. But of course, I have the body. And sometimes I do that, and I every time get huge responses to that. So a lot of girls are liking that picture. Not, I don't post it in my feed, but I just post it in my story with some funny caption. So recently I did a caption like, New Year's resolution, get more tattoos. I was shirtless, doing my selfie in front of the mirror. There's a balance for that. Of course, when you do cool shit all the time and your stories look high quality, and then every once in a while you have that mirror selfie in, then it's good. You make yourself more relatable. You're not a guy who's constantly hanging around in cool places, which up until some point will feel out of reach for some girls, but you're just still this regular guy who goes to the gym, who does like regular guy stuff, who spends time with his sister and whatnot. And the responses I get to that stories there are incredible. So I remember the last time when I posted that, I had like 5 responses from girls who, hey, you're sexy. Hey, I want to get more tattoos. Oh, look at you. So some of them are just female friends, but you get those responses and they're very good.
For sure.
So there's a balance for that. So you can do those funny things.
I'm talking more about setting up the profile,
Yeah.
right? Selfies I would totally avoid if you already have a killer profile on your grid. Profile setup needs to be like top notch.
Yeah.
I would not post those pictures directly in the grid itself because like that's going to make it like ruin it more.
Yeah.
Provided that you are like on a very bougie, celebrity gym. That's something you can do, right? But that's not the case for most of the guys out there. So fine. Like, I mean, I also post some pictures from the gym, things like that. That helps, right? I would not do it in the grid itself. So we're talking about setting up the profile, and stories is like some part of it, but it's not considered, setting up the profile itself.
Yeah, for the grid, one thing that's very important, you have to ask yourself, that picture that I'm going to post, does it either show status or me having access to limited resources, right? And it can even be just a cool restaurant where you're just getting a picture of yourself, or some cool pictures, even with your guy friends, but the environment should convey some sort of exclusive vibe. So here in Munich, we have a very famous cigar lounge, and we spent some time there. And every time we got some pictures there, it looks cool. It looks exclusive. So you can do that, and it's quite easy to fix that. Or you being in some cool historical environments in your city. Maybe there's like a cool place for tourists where people go, and you can snap some pictures in there. You shouldn't use those pictures for the long run. So there will be a point if you do that consistently where you might have to delete those pictures to keep your value up on your profile. But these would be the easiest things that I would start with to fix my Instagram first, and of course use some of those pictures to post on my dating profiles. But for dating profiles, I would much more than go with some simple portrait pictures that show my physicality, how I look, some close-ups, and of course some pictures where I'm maybe with some dogs or some social settings. Because what I found is that when I post pictures to my Instagram and to my online dating profiles where I'm just in a social setting with friends, where there's like nothing too much sexual going on, or where it seems like that I'm surrounded by girls, because this could fuck up some girls from online dating, then the likelihood increases a lot for you to get a match if you show a picture, if you're just surrounded with friends.
Yeah, for sure. Because like I think 90% of my dating app profile pictures are the ones I also post on Instagram, right? So it totally depends. So it's like totally usable. Like you still need to show status. Still need to have like an archetype. So there could be like an archetype of you being an artist, of you being a social guy, of you being a successful businessman guy, of you being like a motherfucker fuckboy, right? Different things you can do.
So that's about the persona you want to convey. So you should have your own persona and some slight idea about what your target audience is, because if you show yourself in like leather jackets and a Harley Davidson, and you're that typical fuck boy on those dating profiles, and then there's a different personality on your Instagram, this might break the interaction with some girls. So there should be a consistency with that, right? We both are those, what I like to call cool guys hanging out in cool places, surrounded by cool people. So this is like my personality, and I have 100% consistency on my dating profiles and on my Instagram with that. So let's say you have your Instagram fixed. So you have cool looking pictures, you're a cool guy in cool environments, you have some friends that you hang around, your Instagram is very good. And what is very important to just have your Instagram, but use it. So convey your personality in your stories. Show that you're active. Show that you're going to the gym. Show that you hang around with cool friends. That you're outgoing. That you're at restaurants. You don't necessarily have to push it like on an extreme level, like me and Ans are doing. So if you go to our Instagrams and you scroll, especially through our story highlights, you will definitely know what I mean. But it could be something very simple. Show your day-to-day life. That way you can give the girls a way to get to know you closer and reach out to you and stay more in touch with you, and you will stay on their radar, right? Let's say you have a open chat on some dating profiles, for example, Hinge. You have a good match, you're chatting back and forth. How do you move things forward? So I assume you move things forward to Instagram. So this is quite easy. Hey, let's chat on Instagram. I'm more active there.
Well, the way I go about it is like, first I need to see if she's interested in meeting up, right? So I show some value, I show some attraction. I mean, we can make a video about texting. The text came on dating apps at some point because I'm getting very consistent with this. And so let's say you show some value, you text back and forth, and then it comes to a point where she's like willing to meet up, right? If it comes to the point like she wants to come to like your place directly, right? Then I would say like sometimes I just do WhatsApp, right? If you're meeting at a public place near your home, like Instagram might like even, it's not necessary if he's like coming straight over. But if it's like 1 week ahead or like 2 days ahead, or she shows up like she shares some objections, well, I don't know if I can trust you, that kind of thing. If you're not like willing to come to your place directly, then Instagram makes more sense because you can trigger more attraction, more value. So like if she sees you with other people, you're social, he can trust, like you can have like more trust for her.
Yeah.
Then I would just say, hey, yeah, that's cool. We can, let's chat on Instagram. We can plan the rest there. This is what I do. Okay, I will see when we can meet up already on dating app. Some guys, they just say way too early. I've made those mistakes as well. If you just, even like if your Instagram is cool, your profile is cool, and if you go for Instagram close way too early, it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
She needs to be attracted. She needs to be willing to meet up with you. And then I'll say, well, yeah, that sounds cool. Let's chat on Instagram to plan the rest. And then you drop your Instagram handle and tell her to text you, or she drops hers, and then you just chat there.
Yeah.
So basically how I do it.
Yeah. So 2 weeks ago, I closed a girl on Tinder too. So I'm not banned on Tinder, but I moved things with her. So what happened to me? I wanted to exchange numbers with her for WhatsApp, and she said, "Nah, number exchange is too early for me." And then I said, "All right, we can go to Instagram." So this is what happened recently to me. And since we are on Instagram, she seems to be more invested. So I remember the first few messages that she sent to me were like, "Hey, I see you're hanging around with a lot of girls. Why are you on Tinder?" And I keep asking you questions because you show way more personality on your Instagram. And of course, that raises questions. But she's like you mentioned in the beginning, she's more intrigued into your profile because I noticed that girl, she was suddenly liking like 6, 7, or 8 pictures of mine. So she did some investigation there, and she's more invested, she's more qualifying, more asking you questions, and that way she's getting more invested into you and more invested into the meetup.
The biggest plus I see if you use Instagram for dating app, right? Like imagine like your profile is good, right? If your profile is not good, like your Instagram is also not good, I assume. So it all solely depends on your pictures. Like invest like a few $100, talk to a photographer, and like just work on your fucking profile, man. Take some cool pictures, make you look like a high status man. Lose some body fat, okay?
Yeah.
So if you're not getting matches, work on your profile. But let's say you're getting some matches, you're able to convert even like on the low end, like 1 to 2 girls per week. It requires minimum texting, I would say half an hour per day, something like that, or 1 hour, like few hours per week. Imagine like 2 girls per week, and over the few months, how many like girls who are interested in you, want to meet up with you, are like gathering at one single place, which is like Instagram. It's like after, if you do it for like 3-4 months, 4 months is like 16 weeks, right? It's like 30 plus girls, sometimes even more. Like 30 girls who are interested in you, and like you are hitting them attraction trigger every fucking week, every week,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That is like so much abundance.
Yeah, I see it very similar to camera equipment. So, for example, if you buy as a photographer an expensive camera with some expensive lens, you can't assume that you're all set up now for the future. And so there will be a point, especially if you're into video production, you will need to get a tripod, you will need to get extra batteries, you will need to get some extra filters for your lens, blah 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 blah. And this will be more money spent on some other equipment than the camera itself. But this will only help you in the future. And so I see online dating apps the same way. So you invested in some dating app with some good photographer to fix your dating profile with the first few pictures. But if you invest more into your Instagram, you're only making your dating profile way better. So similar to the camera equipment, you can only improve the image quality over time with those additional things. And this is how, in my opinion, Instagram works very good.
Also, what I fucking hate the most is like if I have to start an interaction on WhatsApp,
Yeah.
like I have to think of something out of the blue, which is like very unnatural.
Yeah.
Makes it look very pushy. On Instagram, you can like see the people who are like stalking you the most. They usually appear on the top. The first 30 people, right? So the first 30 people who watch your stories. I mean, if you have like 0 followers, then it's maybe less, right? I usually get like 400 or sometimes like even more than that views on my stories currently. And like the girls who are, we are interacting the most with, or like I see, who is stalking me consistently, then maybe I just reply to one of their stories. Like, well, one time I just like, is this your kind of music? You know? Kind of like intriguing message. So that's how you can like keep them warm. Imagine like you match with a girl on like Tinder, and then she's moving continents. She's like going to Asia for 4 weeks, like 4 or 6 weeks or 2 months. And then you have to initiate conversation back on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
She doesn't even know, bro, you exist. Like she has like met some alpha chat Thundercock in Bali or in Ibiza, and then she doesn't even know you exist, right? But if you have these girls consistently from dating apps to Instagram, they are warmed up. Because like no other guys don't know how to use Instagram properly.
Yeah.
But you have this circle functioning. Like you are the only guy, right? One girl literally told me this. So I watch your Instagram and I haven't seen anything like this before. It got me interested. You have like girls.
Yeah.
I was intrigued.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, good thing for me. A plus for me, I would say.
Yeah.
So that can definitely work.
There's a balance with you showing girls on your Instagram, right?
sure.
So it happened to me too that it backfired at some point where I was showing too much girls on my Instagram, and in like very hot settings where I'm in the sauna surrounded by 3-4 girls pouring some wine into our glasses. I mean, it looks cool on the picture, but posting that on Instagram, this can fuck up a lot of girls, especially if you want to meet girls from online dating. They will see that picture and think, yeah, why the fuck are you on online dating? And then they will say, yeah, I can't meet a guy like this because it happened to some friends, happened to me. So there's a balance with that. So unless you're Dan Bilzerian, for example, and you're known for that lifestyle over some certain period of time, then it makes sense to do that. So there's always a context behind every picture. So I would highly avoid posting too many pictures with some girls, especially if those pictures are too much staged. So what works very well are those candid kind of pictures where a camera is just following you around, or a camera is just snapping a quick snapshot of you sitting with some girls on maybe a couch, drinking casually a wine, which looks very classy. So there's a balance. But this is like more advanced stuff that not a lot of guys are having the problem with. So to keep that in mind, right? Not too many girls on your profile. So this is very important that you not only fix your online dating profiles, that you show the right pictures to convey the right personality of yours and target your right audience. So this is nothing new. But if you chat with girls on those dating profiles, make sure that if you have the possibility, or maybe there's no another way, that you pull them over to Instagram where you can even show more personality.
And to summarize everything, what we talked about how fixing your Instagram is also going to help your dating profile, because the pictures you use on Instagram could also be used on your dating app profile, right? And then if you have a chance, you move the girls from dating apps to Instagram, right? Think of it as like lead generation. You use Instagram to generate leads, which are new girls every week, and then you transfer them to your Instagram, which is where you can convert or nurture. If a girl is like traveling for 4, 6 weeks or a couple months, she's always getting nurtured, looking at your stories, your new post on Instagram, right? Looking at your lifestyle, because most guys, they're fucking boring, they suck, they don't know how to use these things properly. So step by step, fix your Instagram and then transfer the girls consistently on Instagram so that you have a very good funnel. And over time, girls are gathering, you're nurturing them through your stories, through the post, and like also time to time replying to their stories and to test the waters, right? The more cool shit you do, the more the girls are getting attracted and then interested in your life. So from now on, we're going to be starting photography services because we know how to set up Instagram profiles, which you can also use for your dating apps, right? If you need help with that. If you're not like interested in like don't have time to set up a proper setup, you just need help with the pictures, right? Shoot me a message, come to Munich, and then we will take killer pictures for you. Set up your Instagram, set up your dating profile, and see how we can build the online dating funnel for you. So no matter where you travel or where you are, you can just keep using it and like keep converting people. And besides that, if you want one-on-one help, if you want to build a killer circle to meet the most attractive girls, the jaw-dropping women in your city, just go to the link in the description and book the call with me or Max, and we will show you. We'll dive deeper into your situation to see how we can help you exactly. Otherwise, feel free to check my Instagram, Max's Instagram to see how we roll, like, and what kind of vibe we have. Otherwise, man, like, keep up the good work and see you next time.
See you next time.